one step in front of the other, one word after another, and no longer will we need to be called women writers. Just like the men, we all too will be just writers.
Scintillating award ceremony bringing together a plethora of accomplished women authors. Celebrating the shining spirit of women authors, JK Paper and the Times of India joined hands to bring for the first time India's most coveted Women Author Awards. JK Paper presents AutHER Awards in association with the Times of India, felicitated women authors with a view to encourage more women to take up writing and pen that first story and feel proud of their accomplishments.
I believe that Shiva is simply an absence of Shakti. We are all made up of female energy, but those who have less of it are the males of this world. So it's about time that we recognize that we are all elements which are brought on earth by Shakti. And this award is a manifestation of that.
Well, I was very fortunate in my jury because both Raminder and Shivani were excellent. We were all on the same wavelength. And basically what we were looking for was something new. All the books we got were actually at the same level. They were actually like a child talking to a child in a very intelligent way.
The AutHER Awards 2020 have shortlisted the best women authors in fiction, non-fiction, debut and children's literature. And these were presided over by a panel of 12 eminent judges.
2020 and women are finding their voice fearlessly and forcefully. So these awards are important, especially for debut authors, women who are writing their first books, not sure how they'll be received. I was very happy to be the chair of that jury. It took a lot of debate, a lot of discussion, and I'm glad that we arrived at the decision that we did.
A lot of creative processes, whether it's theatre or music or dance or writing, it's just all a matter of flowing, and for that you need the right energy. When you have AutHER Awards, where you recognize women's contribution not to writing but to life in general, then that energy comes forth and encourages so many more women to come out with their stories.
The evening witnessed a motivating address by the chief guest, Shri Shashi Tharoor, Member of Parliament and a noted author himself, along with the Vice Chairman and Managing Director of JK Paper, Shri Harshpati Singhania.
I have to say that standing here as a writer, which is the capacity in which I was invited, I can't overlook the fact that I'm also a politician. And to be a male Indian politician in a celebration of women's writing is slightly shame-making. But the fact is that I come from a profession which is full of barriers. To look at the question of women's writing, it's already been pointed out, as I was planning to, that many women were forced to use male pseudonyms. George Eliot was mentioned as the French writer, George Sand, George Sand, as the English called her. J.K. Rowling was rightly mentioned, P.D. James, another famous women writer of thrillers, who didn't use pseudonyms, but concealed their female identity because there was a perception that many men wouldn't buy books written by female authors. Of course, things have changed very much, but the fact fundamentally remains that too much of our history, too many of our stories have been written principally by men. And if you look at the global picture, the vast, vast majority of published writing has been not just by men, but by white men. And therefore, the way in which readers, the literate publics of the world, have looked at the world has been shaped and conditioned by the perspectives of these men, these white men. Today, we are celebrating authentic female voices who have inhabited the experiences of women that they seek to portray, something no man, however sensitive, however attuned to other people's feelings, can possibly replicate except secondhand. Ultimately, Women's Day and an award like this reminds us of the evident shortcomings of the existing status quo and the evident problems we face when we restrict ourselves to a perspective that is shorn of the really important voices of women. I remember Kofi Annan, my late boss at the United Nations, told me that an old African proverb said that women hold up half the sky. I said to him, that may be in Africa. In India, they hold up much more than half the sky, maybe 3/4 of the sky. Because you see, particularly in our rural areas, women looking after the homes, bringing up the children, and working in the fields, while men are sitting around in charpoys with their hookahs. And the truth is that in our country, we are perhaps loath to recognize the significant and stirring achievements of women. Today is an honorable exception. I congratulate J.K. Paper and Times of India on the AutHER Awards for the effort that you have made to actually come up with an award, with a series of awards that honor women achievers in a significant field where women have not always been given their due.
Our love for paper and the respect and admiration for women authors triggered us to bring this AutHER Awards that celebrate the her in the author. If you notice, it is AUTHER, and that was deliberately intended. Her creativity, her bold voice, her unique perspective, and her expression. And what a better day than to do it today, being International Women's Day. When we thought of it, tying up with Times of India became the obvious choice. A leading newspaper with huge respect and readership, a platform that can influence, encourage, and inspire. I'm delighted to be here with you today and be a part of this grand celebration of women authors who have penned down their stories and experiences on paper and made an unparalleled contribution to literature in a world that has been at times inadequately appreciative of what they've done.
It was a treat to be asked to do it, and I feel as if, there were some familiar authors on our list whom I've read before. There were others I'd never read before, and between the two of them, honestly, I can't express what's more thrilling.
As a reader, I have never differentiated between a male writer or a female writer. If a book is good, it is good. And it doesn't matter if the author is a girl or a man.
Quality of writing which we had to judge was awesome, and trying to differentiate one from the other was an extremely difficult task. We had to read up the books, jot down the points, and trying to get into the subtleties why one book is better or one style is better.
Coming up next on the other side of the break are the winners of the J.K. Paper Presents AutHER Awards in association with the Times of India. The AutHER Awards, a joint venture between J.K. Paper and the Times of India, are a celebration of women authors who've added value and creativity to the literary space.
I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the nominees and the winners tonight. The quality and the caliber of the work was truly incredible. Thank you, Vinita, for giving me this opportunity. It's great to see women authors from all genres being recognized and awarded.
The books were chosen post multiple layers of screening out of an astonishing 850 entries submitted by both publishers and individual authors for the coveted national award, the first of its kind in India. The jury considered books by women published in India between December 2018 and November 2019. The evening also saw addresses by Raj Jain, Group CEO Bennett Coleman & Company, and Vinita Nangia, Executive Editor, The Times of India.
Fortunately, today we live in a changed world which is much richer because of the writings of strong, independent women who have deservedly earned their space in all spheres of life. Today, a woman is celebrated by her intellect, her emotional quotient, and her contribution to the world. Interestingly, in India, we have instances of some legendary male writers writing under female pseudonyms. And of course, who knows, seeing the success of women writers today, many more male authors may start adopting female pseudonyms. We at the Times of India have always taken pride in the written word, and a testimony to that commitment is our various literature festivals and other projects promoting books and authors as this one today. J.K. Papers, who have always provided material for women to pour their souls through, today are supporting the AutHER Awards.
India has a heritage of learned women saints and philosophers, including the 23 women sages who wrote verses of the Vedas. The South is replete with the names of erudite women saints, philosophers, and poets. At least 27 of the poets who wrote ancient Sangam literature or the Tamil Vedas were women. Karnataka also had a lot of women saints celebrated for their wisdom, such as Akka Mahadevi, a medieval feminist. The great Tamil epics, unlike the Sanskrit epics, have women as main characters. It is worrisome that somewhere along the way, mindsets change so much that these facts today surprise us. It is this thinking that needs to be addressed, that's all. And events like our AutHER Awards for women today shine light on the fact that women have been sidelined for long and need a leg up now. Because yes, we all recognize they are equally talented, creative, and market savvy. They just need an equal playing field. One step in front of the other, one word after another, and no longer will we need to be called women writers. Just like the men, we all too will be just writers.
And it was now time for the award ceremony, rewarding women authors who are truly icons in their literary genres.
Our first category is for Best Fiction. Can we please have the nominees?
Nominees for Best Fiction are Madhuri Vijay. Madhuri Vijay has been a prolific contributor to many publications and winner of several awards. Her debut book, The Far Field, is a potent critique of Indian politics and class prejudice. Manjul Bajaj. Manjul Bajaj's book catered to both adults and children. Her latest book, In Search of Heer, explores the many meanings of love in the timeless tale of Heer Ranjha. Sutapa Basu, a poet, an author, and the very first winner of the Times of India Write India campaign in 2016. Her book, The Curse of Nadir Shah, is a powerful, fictitious retelling of the exploits of the formidable conqueror.
Oh, the winner is a tie. We have two winners, Shrutapa Basu and Madhuri Vijay.
Madhuri could not join us to collect the award today, so can we please have on the stage Udayan Mitra, publisher for the literary division of HarperCollins, please. Our next category is Best Non-Fiction. Can we have the nominees, please?
Nominees for Best Non-Fiction are Revati Laul, an independent journalist and filmmaker. Her first book, The Anatomy of Hate, is a narrative on research and interviews around 2002 Godhra riots. Saba Diwan, a documentary filmmaker. Saba Diwan's works are based on sexuality, gender, identity, communalism and culture. Her book, Tawaifnama, is a nuanced and powerful micro-history set against the sweep of Indian historical panorama. Yashika Dutt, a writer and journalist. Yashika Dutt has written on a broad range of topics. Her book, Coming Out as Dalit is an intense memoir that details her journey of coming to terms with her true identity of being a Dalit.
And the winner of the prize for Best Author Non-Fiction, Sabha Diwan.
Our next category is Best Debut Author. May we have the nominees, please?
Nominees for Best Debut Author are Rehana Munir, an independent writer on culture and lifestyle. Her book Paper Moon is about the birth of a Mumbai bookshop and, in her own words, a book leaning towards lightness and laughter. Shubha Mudgar, an acclaimed Hindustani classical singer. Her debut work of fiction, Looking for Miss Sargam, is a happy tale of music and interesting misadventures. Rudrakshi Bhattacharjee, a child prodigy. She received recognition for her literary talent at a very young age. Her book, This Is How It Took Place, is a brilliant collection of interwoven short stories. Unfortunately, she is no more with us, but her admirable body of work will always keep her alive.
The Best Debut Author goes to Rudrakshi Bhattacharjee and Rehana Munir.
Unfortunately, Rudrakshi Bhattacharjee is no longer with us, but we have her parents in the room. May I please request them to come on the stage and accept the award. Our fourth category is Best Children's Author.
Nominees for Best Children Author: Bijal Vacharajani. As a prolific writer and author of books for children, her book, A Cloud Called Bhura, is a thought-provoking, funny and inspiring tale about the changing global climate. Jane D'Souza, a columnist and humor writer, her book Flyaway Boy is spirited and powerfully imaginative and is about embracing everything that makes you uniquely you. Paro Anand, an author of books for children, young adults and adults. Her book Being Gandhi examines what it means to be a Gandhian in the present times.
And the winner of the Best Author for Children, Bijal Bhattacharjee.
Our next category is a category where the public is the judge. It is the Popular Choice Awards. We had a lot of readers given their votes. There was a stiff competition. Let's have the nominees, please.
Nominees for Popular Choice Awards are Manjul Bajaj for In Search of Heer, Sutapa Basu for The Curse of Nadir Shah, Madhuri Vijay for The Far Field, Revati Laul for The Anatomy of Hate, Sabha Diwan for The Wife Nama, Yashika Dutt for Coming Out as Dalit, Rehana Munir for Paper Moon, Rudrakshi Bhattacharjee for This Is How It Took Place, Shubha Mudkar for Looking for Miss Sargam, Bijal Vacharajani for A Cloud Called Bhura, Paro Anand for Being Gandhi, Jane D'Souza for Flyaway Boy.
And the winner of the Popular Choice Award, she's already been on stage, Sutapa Basu.
The Lifetime Achievement Award, the first ever Author Awards 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Nayanthara Saigal, as we all know. Unfortunately, Nayanthara ji could not travel to Delhi to receive the awards due to ill health, but her daughter Geeta Saigal has flown in to receive it on her behalf. Before we invite Geeta on stage, we will play a short video message which Nayantara ji very kindly recorded for us.
This award therefore means much more to me than any other award I have received, because it is the first in India for women writers, and that I have been chosen as the first recipient of this award.
Just go ahead and write. Never feel that people are not going to read you or nobody's going to publish you. Just be confident in your own writing, have belief in your own writing, and go out there and write.
There are a lot of voices outside who do not validate us, do not validate our experience and the ways in which we want to tell the story. Just if there is that voice telling you something, be true to it, stick by it, be guided by it.
Women and men to just keep at it, to keep reading. I think that is the one big thing. As a sort of potential writer or a budding writer, there's nothing that can be more helpful and something that keeps you grounded as writing does, as reading does.
For me, I think I'm hoping that, first thought is that yay, an award for a green children's literature book, and also an award for children's literature is always a big thing.
The JK Paper Presents Author Awards in association with the Times of India has provided a much needed platform of recognition to celebrate the art of storytelling and encourage women authors to express their creativity and fondness of writing.